Ever stood in front of your closet, fingers brushing over faded sweaters and sensible slacks, and felt a pang, like the woman staring back from the mirror deserves more than just safe? Or maybe you've walked past a crowd, caught a flicker of a glance, and wondered if it was you they saw, or just another gray blur slipping by. If you're over 60, or you've got a fierce, fabulous elder in your life, this isn't about dusting off old outfits or chasing some fleeting trend. It's about color, those vivid, soul-stirring hues that can jolt you awake, make your heart skip, and turn every head in the room without you lifting a finger. Today, we're unpacking 8 colors that make men notice older women instantly, not because they're loud or garish, but because they stitch together confidence, wisdom, and a beauty that's been simmering for decades, ready to boil over. These aren't just shades on a rack. They're your secret arsenal, crafted to spotlight your spirit, echo your story, and prove you're not winding down. You're lighting up, brighter and bolder than ever. Hang with me to the finish line, because by the end, you'll know how to sling these colors like a pro, feel electric in your own skin, and maybe even catch your own breath at the power you've been hiding. The last one's a quiet stunner most folks sleep on. It could flip your whole game. Before we dive in, if you're ready to grab your wisdom by the horns and shine like the queen you are, smash that like button. It keeps me churning out these gems for the elderly. New here? Hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss a single flash of insight. Loving this? Drop a number 1 in the comments. Not vibing? Toss me a number 0 so I can tweak it next round. Let's get moving. Imagine this. You're thumbing through a fashion mag or scrolling TikTok, eyes snagging on sleek cuts and neon splashes. Gorgeous, sure, but they feel like they're screaming at someone else. Someone who hasn't cried through a child's first steps, laughed through a midlife crisis, or stitched together a life from scratch. Style's a thrill, no question, but it's not the full picture. What if I told you the real trick isn't in the fit or the tag, it's in the color you wrap yourself in? Colors don't just hang there, they sing. They pluck at emotions, flip your mood like a switch, and whisper truth before you even clear your throat. Red blazes with heat, blue soothes like a lullaby, yellow bounces like a kid on a trampoline. They're not accessories, they're your voice, your vibe, your victory lap. For women over 60, this isn't about mimicking the runway, it's about claiming the woman you've become. Tougher, sharper, more you than you ever dared. These 8 colors we're cracking open today, they're your crew, chosen to ignite your glow, lift your chin, and make sure men and the whole world see the force you've always been. I've seen it unfold from my Aunt Lena's red scarf rebellion to Mrs. Ortiz's purple dress power play, and I'm spilling every drop here. Ready to shift how you feel and how everyone sees you? Let's jump in. Red kicks us off, and it's not some timid blush. This is the red that slaps you awake. Think a lipstick that stains your mouth like a battle crumb, a coat that cuts through a crowd like a flame, or a dress that flows like molten courage. Red isn't a color, it's a storm, a heartbeat, a shout of passion and grit that refuses to be ignored. When you wear red, you're not tiptoeing around. You're striding in, owning every inch of the floor. It's the hue that bellows, I'm alive, I'm fearless, and I've got stories to tell. My Aunt Lena, 67, used to dodge red like it was a curse. Too wild, too much, she'd say, hiding in her oatmeal cardigans like they were a bunker. Then one rainy Easter, I shoved a red scarf into her hands, practically daring her to wear it. She huffed, I'll look like a clown, but tied it on anyway. When she stepped into the brunch hall, my cousin's jaw dropped, and Uncle Mike, who barely notices anything, stammered, Lena, wow. She brushed it off, but I saw it. Her eyes danced, her step quickened. Men at the table, old pals, her son's buddies, kept leaning in, hooked not just by the scarf, but by this fire she'd kept locked up. Red's got that pull. Science says it spikes pulses, screams confidence from rooftops. For women over 60, it's not about pretending you're 20. It's about flaunting every scar and smile you've earned. Lana didn't get it at first. She'd spent years shrinking herself, thinking bold was for kids. But that day, she felt it. Red wasn't young, it was her. I tried it too, a red blouse on a dull Tuesday, and my barber, a gruff 50-something, grinned, "You're trouble today." It's not subtle, it's raw, real you. Grab a red hat, a lip, a sleeve. Watch how it rewires you. Men notice, sure, but you'll feel it first. And that's the spark that lasts. Burgundy slides in next, smoother and deeper, like a sip of Merlot under a twilight sky. Picture a burgundy jacket that wraps you like a secret, or a skirt that sways like a whispered promise. It's not red's loud cousin. It's the quiet one, the one that pulls you close with a knowing glance instead of a yell. Burgundy's for the woman who's walked through fire and come out polished, wearing her years like a velvet cape. My friend's aunt, Mrs. Ortiz, 70, found this out at a neighborhood potluck. She'd always stuck to khakis and creams. Invisible, she'd laugh, until I handed her a burgundy dress I'd snagged at a thrift shop. She sighed, too fancy, but wore it anyway. When she walked in, Mr. Ruiz, the stoic gardener next door, froze mid-bite. "You look like a painting," he mumbled, cheeks flushing. She chuckled, but I caught it. Her shoulders relaxed, her laugh grew bolder. That's Burgundy's trick. It's rich but restrained, draping you in mystery that doesn't need to prove anything. It's a universal flatterer. Pale skin gets warmth, dark skin gets depth, and it shifts from day to night like it's born for both. I saw it again at the library. She wore it with a silver brooch, and the clerk, a young guy, kept stammering through her checkout. It's not just pretty, it's power you feel in your bones. That quiet hum that says you're still a force. Ortiz swears by it now, calls it her mystery boost. I tried a burgundy scarf once, and my coworker, usually all business, paused. That's wow. It's elegance with an edge, making men linger, seeing the depth you've always had. Slip it on, a top, a bag, a hint, and let it cast its spell. Navy blue steps up after, steady as a rock, cool as a winter sea. Think a navy blazer that cuts like a knife, or a dress that drifts like a calm tide. Navy doesn't flash. It anchors, radiating a regal calm that says you've got nothing left to prove. It's timeless, laughing at trends that come and go, always landing on the side of class. My old piano teacher, Sierra, Mrs. Gale, 63, was Navy's poster child. She'd glide into lessons, navy skirt crisp as paper, and every dad picking up their kid would pause, eyes tracking her like she owned the place. She told me once, "Navy's my backbone, lets me be me without the fuss." That's its secret, its quiet strength, poise that doesn't beg for a spotlight. It just takes it. I saw it at a school reunion too. She wore a navy coat, simple but sharp, and her old classmate, a chatty 60-something, kept circling. You've got that old magic. Navy bends to anything, jeans for a lazy day, pearls for a night out, and hugs every skin tone like an old friend. For women over 60, it's a salute to the steady grace you've built, a hue that says, "I'm rooted and I'm rising." I tried it, a navy sweater on a cold morning, and my landlord, a gruff guy, nodded, "Looking good." It's not about noise, it's about standing tall, and men feel that weight. Wear it, a jacket, a scarf, a glow, and watch how it steadies the air. Gail showed me it's not about shouting, it's about being, and that pulls eyes every time. Emerald green charges in next, wild and untamed, like a jungle after a downpour. Picture an emerald shawl that glints like a gemstone or a top that shimmers like wet leaves. It's not just green, it's a lifeline, a loud, proud roar that you're still sprouting, still alive no matter what the years pile on. Emerald's deep glow doesn't just sit pretty, it dances, lighting your face like a spotlight, waking up your eyes with a wink. My cousin's grandma, Mrs. Vera, 65, stumbled into this at a family barbecue. She'd been drowning in blacks and grays. Practical, she'd shrug, until I tossed her an emerald blouse I'd found on sale. She groaned, too loud, but wore it anyway. When she stepped onto the patio, her grandson's buddy, a loud 30-something, whistled, "You're stealing the show." She waved him off, but the chatter didn't stop. Men, women, even the dog seemed to perk up. Emerald's got that juice. Science says green lifts spirits, screams renewal like spring busting through frost. For seniors, it's a fist bump to anyone who thinks you're past your prime. I saw it again at the park. She wore it with jeans, and Mr. Sam, the chess guy, grinned. "You're a vision. It's not just looks. It's energy, raw and real." I tried an emerald skirt once, and my barista, usually half asleep, perked up. That's a vibe. A dress, a pin, a splash, emerald shouts life, and men catch that beat. Vera's sold now, calls it her grow young fix. Try it, feel the rush. Soft peach floats in after, gentle as a morning mist, warm as a campfire's edge. Think a peach dress that softens every curve, or a sweater that drapes like a hug. Peach doesn't grab, it beckons, brushing your skin with a glow that feels like a second sunrise. It's not bold, it's tender, open, radiating charm that pulls folks in like a cozy porch light. My Aunt Ruth, 72, found this at a holiday dinner. She clung to navy, serious, she'd say, until I slipped a peach scarf into her stocking. She balked, too girly, but tied it on. When she walked in, her son-in-law, a stern 50-something, softened. "You look alive tonight." Men kept drifting over, nephews, old neighbors, drawn to this quiet warmth she didn't know she could wield. Peach is subtle magic, perfect for seniors who want heart over hype. It's a shapeshifter, casual with slacks, elegant with gold, and lifts your mood like a soft song. I saw it again at a bake sale. She wore a peach top, and the vendor, a gruff guy, smiled. "You're a peach yourself." Ruth's half her closet now, calls it her soft power. I tried a peach blouse once, and my coworker, usually Kurt, lingered. "That's nice. Wear it, a shawl, a lip, a hint, and watch how it melts the edges." Men notice, but you feel it most, and that's the gift. Royal purple sweeps in next, heavy with history, bold as a monarch's cloak. Picture a purple coat that falls like a royal decree, or a scarf that wraps like dusk's embrace. Purple doesn't ask for attention. It takes it, cloaking you in power and grace like a queen claiming her court. It's wisdom, strength, years that don't drag but lift you higher. My mom's friend, Mrs. Lee, 68, proved this at a fundraiser. She'd stuck to pastels, a safe, she'd mutter, until I handed her a purple dress I'd spotted at a flea market. She sighed, too much, but wore it. When she walked in, Mr. Dan, the organizer, stopped cold. "You're royalty tonight." She smirked, but I saw it. Her posture sharpened, her voice carried. Men noticed, donors, volunteers, drawn not just to the dress but to her quiet command. Purple's like that, deep, unyielding, a scepter you wield without a word. It flatters every shade. Pale gets richness, dark gets light, and shines in jackets, tops, even a bold nail. I tried a purple hat once, and my grocer, a grump, nodded. "That's something." Lee calls it her throne shade now, and men see it, not just cloth, but her reign. Wear it, a gown, a pin, a flash, and rule your space. Yellow crashes in after, bright and fearless, like a sunbeam slicing through fog. Think a yellow jacket that pops like a firework, or a scarf that flutters like a laugh. It's joy, hope, a jolt that dares you to shine, even when the world's dim. Not every senior risks it, too loud they say, but those who do, they rewrite the room. My old neighbor, Mrs. Soto, 69, tested this at a block party. She'd lived in tans. Neutral, she'd shrug, until I gave her a yellow hat as a gag. She wore it, hesitant, and the mailman, a stony 60-something, grinned, "You're a burst of sun." She laughed, but it stuck. Men kept smiling, pulled by this light she didn't know she had. Yellow's infectious. Studies say it sparks cheer, drags eyes like a spotlight. I saw it again at the deli. She wore a yellow top, and Mr. Pete, the owner, winked, brightening my day. For older women, it's a yell. I'm here and I'm thriving. I tried a yellow tie once and my barber chuckled, "You're bold." A bag, a skirt, a splash. It's your flair and men feel that heat. Soto's hooked, calls it her joy shot. Dare it, let it blaze. Ivory closes us out, soft and eternal, like a whisper carved in stone. Picture an ivory blouse that flows like silk, or a coat that glows like moonlight. It's not loud, it's serene, lifting you without stealing your shine. My Aunt Jo, 66, found this at a dinner party. She dodged neutrals. Dull, she'd say, until I nudged her into an ivory shawl. Her brother-in-law, a curt 70-something, paused. Your elegance itself. Men lingered, guests, waiters, drawn to this calm radiance she radiated. Ivory's quiet strength loves every skin. Pale gets warmth, dark gets light, and fits any scene from jeans to gems. I saw it again at church. She wore an ivory dress, and the usher, a shy guy, smiled. You're glowing. Joe's sold, calls it her still power. I tried an ivory top, and my nephew grinned. Classy. Wear it, a wrap, a lip, a gleam, and feel the shift. These colors aren't just a dye. They're your pulse, your proof, your anthem. Red's Lena blazing through. Burgundy's Ortiz drawing eyes. Navy's Gale holding ground. Emerald's Vera thriving. Peach's Ruth warming hearts. Purple's Lee reigning. Yellow's Soto sparking. Ivory's Joe shining soft. I've felt it. Dull days flipped with the red lip, my stride bolder. Men notice, yes, but you see you, and that's everything. The lesson, colors aren't fleeting. They're your fire. Pick one. Red for heat, peach for heart, free for calm, and wear it like a vow. You're not unseen. You're a storm. Which grabs you? Tell me below, I'm listening. Love this? Hit like, subscribe, ring that bell. Let's keep this flame burning. Catch you next time.